this love to fill my soul. You be my friend and my man, taking me for who I truly am. I am not afraid, no, 'cause there's nothing to fear. Just call my name, baby, and I'll be right there, holding your hand while we cross the sands of time. All that I am is all that you are. All that I am to me and so much more. All that I am is all that you are. So take me to your heart. All that I am is all that you are. You're everything to me and so much more.
to 2004 on the Deeper Grooves label, the sweet and soulful sounds of Le Funkin', All That I Am. It opens up today's Vocal Booth Radio show. Good afternoon, how are you? Giving a big grin into the camera for anybody who enjoys watching the show. And of course, saying hi to yourself on the podcast, whatever day of the week it is you may be picking us up. I hope you're well. Inside the Pressure Lounge, we've got a few shouts and dedications to get through. And if you want your name mentioned on today's show, then do by all means say hello and I will give you a shout out. Beginning by saying hi to Angela, also to Andy Tomo, who complimented me on my t-shirt today, courtesy of Mr. Richard Fenn. A cheeky little play on the classic electro albums, of course, and it simply says House 1988. So you know what we're doing? We're revisiting approximately 30 years of sweet, soulful house nuggets as we delve through the archives. Let's have some Antonio Ocasio now.
óyelo, siéntelo, gózalo, bailalo, respíralo, pero qué bueno, sigue pa'lante.
And 23 seconds of absolute incredible music. Taking you back to 2003, the first release for the Ken Lu label, subsidiary label from the Masters at Work, Antonio Ocasio. A track called Organic Energy. Wow, wow, wow. As I'm listening to this, I'm reminded of a new podcast I was turned on to. It's been around for some time now. Earlier this week, I was listening to the brand new episode from Love is the Message. It's a history of dance music and counterculture, and it features a world of information, most notably the history of music coming out of Cuba and the importance that that has on the New York scene and subsequently the house scene. So I highly recommend you check that out. Love is the Message is the podcast. And I should have written down the guys' names who were behind it, but I've had 1,001 things to think about today, and it's already gone out of my head, even though I know who it is really well. Also, I've noticed as soon as I've gone on air, my overhead camera has decided to disappear, so it's just this front camera. For anyone that's watching that was wondering why I haven't changed the camera angles today, I don't want to mess around while I'm live on air. that time of the year where it's kind of pointless for me to comment on the weather here on the Costa Blanca. Absolutely glorious. I did see you had some good weather in different parts of the UK. I'm not sure if it's still nice today. Someone did post a photograph inside the pressure lounge, but I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it looks sunny in Scotland. Hold tight for all the shouts inside the pressure lounge. Once again, greetings to everybody watching on the YouTube and the Mixcloud. And of course, to you, sometime into the future, if you've just happened upon today's show. We continue on the Strictly Rhythm label. This is Ira Levi. Another 10-minute excursion. We came to work it out.
it out. You better work it out. Work it out. Work it out, baby. Work it out, baby. Work it out, baby. Oh,
As we switch, extended mix gives you a little dub at the end. I want to say hi to Andy Tomo, to Angel, to Rick and Angela, to Mr. Chris Harris. Greetings to Kevin Anthony if you're listening, my friend. To Paul and to Helen. To Lamcar, am I pronouncing that correct? To Jeff and Jules, to Mr. John Rogers. Also hi to Lionwood House. Phil and Kelly, Sahara 247, the Moore family, and then last but not least, want to say hi to Tony the Taz Whitfield. Greetings one and all inside the Pressure Lounge. Getting reports that the weather isn't particularly fantastic in the West Midlands or down south. I shan't continue to comment on the wonderful day I've had here. One or two people absent from the chat room, so I'll say hi on the podcast to all of the regulars who I'm sure had a big night, a messy night on Saturday. And I'll just get back to this beautiful, beautiful vinyl. No alcohol for me today, actually. I've just noticed my glass is still there from last week as well. I must sack my cleaner. Yeah, I might have a little swig of whiskey maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
We came to work. We came to work. Oh, we came to work. Hey, we came to work, babe. Gotta work it out. You gotta work it out. Gotta work it out. You gotta work it out. I don't know. 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 I don't know what you came to do. Hey, we came to work it out. We came to work it out. We came to work it out, babe. I don't know what you came to do, but ooh.
Greetings to Amy. Sorry to hear you're not very well today, my dear. A little bit of cowbell. Sending it all the way to the disco shed for Mr. Sutherland. Unmistakable sounds of 2000 Black. This is on the Black Vinyl label. Sounds of the Y2K remixes. Massive tune right here. Forget, I want to say hi to John Smith, who I'm sure will be picking up the show, if not live, then at some point the recording. Also, shouts out to Greg and Wendo. Big love out to Schoolie today as well. 30 minutes into this week's Vocal Booth Radio Show. If you're listening to the midweek recording, I hope all is good in your world. Thanks, Amy, for reminding me. It's so very easy to forget that camera's there from time to time. Just standing here playing my imaginary bass. I'm sure if anyone can play the bass, I'm doing it completely wrong, so ignore that. The sounds of the Militant Soul Productions 2000 Black Y2K remixes on Black Soul. Black vinyl. Greetings to Mr. Dave Alders. How are you, my friend? Trying to stay up after a late one last night, warming up for a guy called Gerald's. Dear oh dear. Did it get messy, brother? Did it get messy? I saw one or two reports from the crew who were out at Herd yesterday for their all-dayer. Other than that, I haven't really been paying a lot of attention to what's been going on over the last few days. Been otherwise engaged myself here, which is one of the reasons why, as I started the show, I realised that the overhead camera isn't working. Quite annoyed at that, but never mind. Anybody else on the outside, if you want to shout out on the stream, if you go onto YouTube and leave a comment, then you will see it should pop up on the screen. Again, maybe it's not working. The Shazam wasn't working either for some ridiculous reason. You gotta love technology. It was working fine last week. It was working fine about 30 minutes before I went on air. And now for some reason, the computer has decided to change the input that it listens to Shazam, and so it's not picking up any of the records. I don't even know why I need to tell you that. You don't care. Let's go back to 1995 now. Sounds of Pamela Fernandez. I see that Steve Reed is with Phil and Kelly in the Barrington. A great night was had yesterday. A great day was had at Herd. Good to hear that. So Steve, does that mean you're not doing the show today? Have you spoken to somebody who's going to be taking over from myself? Or did that skip your mind? Or are you going to be doing it there? Shout out to Ross Pasau, who just sent me a message which reminded me I'm going to attempt to do a slideshow a little later on. If it's going to work, we'll go back again to 2014. Today we'll share images from one of the very messy Birmingham reunions that we did over the Christmas period. More information up and coming. Do remind me if I forget, please. Steve Reed confirms there will be a Revolve radio show. He may be slightly running late though, so I'll be prepared to extend ever so slightly should I need to. D'Ambrosio on the production for this one. Another record running in at over 9.5 minutes long. You get your money's worth, that's for sure. Big vocal, into a breakdown, into the dub, back to the vocal. And this is also on a double pack as well, so we could have gone to another dub and then back into a different mix if we wanted to. 27 years and counting, sounding fresh. Record goes out to Mrs. Buckley. Oh, my angel. That's you right there.
Ooh.
actually put a year on this one. It doesn't have any information on the record label. On the Next Move Records label, Next Move being owned by the man behind this record. It is the sounds of Jovan featuring K on vocals, K-A-A-Y-E, and it's called My Angel. I believe this is a Dennis Ferrer remix. It's one of those labels that it doesn't actually tell you which side is which, so one side's Dennis F and the other side is something else. I can't remember now until I look at the other side of the label. Getting a lot of love inside the Pressure Lounge from Paul Sutherland and Andy Tummo, who throws up the fire emoji. John Rogers chucks up a dancing emoji as well. Some great dubs on this release also, check it out. I completely lied. It's the year 2000. So one of the sides is the Jovan main mix and the other side is a Dennis F mix. You just need to be aware of that if you're looking to purchase. Anyway, let's continue the sounds of Sabrina Pope now. Back when I was rinsing this out, I had no idea it was a cover of a classic. Deep, deep, deep words. Listen closely.
All I celebrate. But as your hand touches your heart, remember we all played a part in America to help that banner wave. This world was made for all men. This world was made for all. God made this world. This world was made for all men. This shit wasn't made for just one person or one sect of people. God made this world. We gotta raise for all people. It's for all babies. It's for every child.
Ashamed to say that when I would have been playing this towards the end of the 90s, I wasn't really a huge follower of Stevie Wonder. I wasn't that versed on his releases. It would have been many years later after hearing this that I would have heard his original, and then I put two and two together. So and then I haven't gone back and listened to that again to see whether that quotes all of the lyrics or it just uses it as a reference point. I'm sure you get what I'm saying. Sabrina Pope, Black Man on the Slip and Slide label out of London town. I gotta say hi to Mr. Dave first. Apologies, my friend. I don't know if I did say hello to you earlier. Lion with House is watching on the YouTube. Good afternoon, Big Bolcher. Wablo. Impressed with the sights and sounds of the booth. Thank you, thank you. And actually, that reminds me, talking about the sights and sounds of the booth, I'm going to attempt to get this slideshow rocking and rolling now. So I'll say hi to anybody that's watching the clip that I'll share on Facebook. We will go back to one of our legendary parties after the big events in Campoamor. We had reunions in Birmingham. In 2014, we teamed up with Uber. We had Mad Mats as our superstar headliner. And like all of our reunions, it was a pretty messy affair. Let's see if we can get these photos working. We're rolling. The Uber Vocal Booth Weekend, a Christmas Reunion 2014, up now on the big screen, courtesy of Mixcloud or YouTube. And just a reminder, it's the way we do it every Sunday on the Vocal Booth Radio Show, 4 till 6 o'clock, for your listening pleasure.
night, and as the day fades, burn a candle right for me, right for me. Right for me, right for me. Always keep me warm, give me shelter from the wildest storm. When in clover, will you tend evergreen, love without end? Walk to the sun.
Some quite hysterical moments captured in this slideshow. All photos courtesy of Soul Kitty. If you take a look back again through the images, you'll see a beautiful lady with those cat's ears on. You may have heard me talk a few weeks ago about Dawn Green, who we did the very first balloon release to show love and solidarity for, while she couldn't make it at the poolside of the Monte Piedra for her Titans appearance. We were happy that Dawn was well enough to join us at the reunion for the Christmas 2014 party. Dawn unfortunately no longer with us. We saw one or two of the faces no longer with us in that video, and of course one or two people with partners no longer together, and also relationships still to be formed, courtesy of the Vocal Booth family. I'll say it time and time again inside the newsletter. Without the Vocal Booth family, then there is no Vocal Booth Weekend Out. There is no Vocal Booth event. Thank you all for being a part of it. Before I forget, you were just listening to the sounds of the Weekend Players, track called Into the Sun, T. Schwartz on the remix.
Feel it in your soul. Feel it in your soul, yeah. I hear the voices inside my mind.
The same next week on the radio show when we will go back to the Vocal Booth Weekend of 2015. 4-track EP on the Groove On label. The sounds of De Menace. Spirit in My Soul is the EP. This track is called Voices. Take it to 2004 now, one of the rare pieces of vinyl that I've got from that era. This is something out of New York City on King Street. Shouts again to Chris Harris, sending this the sounds of DJ Kemet and Roland Clark out to you, sir.
Where do I go? Where all your dreams come true, where I can see tomorrow, where flowers always bloom, and who do I see about a place for me? Somebody point the way and set my spirit free.
Apologies, I forgot to send a shout out to Pugwash earlier. Good afternoon, sir. Also want to say hi to Andrea. Was everybody happy to see Little Man today? I hope your soul has been enriched by meeting up with all those incredible people. In New York City, staying on the King Street label. We go back to that Kerry Chaos Chandler Trionosphere 3 EP. Track called You Are My Life.
Must
say on a regular basis, if I had any brains, I could have played that record whilst we were looking to the slides from 2014, but I don't have any brains and I didn't, so we'll listen to it now. 2000 is the year for this one. Kerry Chaos 623 Chandler as his build on the label. Trionosphere 3 is the EP, and again I'll repeat, You Are My Life is the title. Happily standing here, paying full attention to all of the lyrics on today's radio show. I think it's a rather uplifting affair. I hope you'll agree. Phil Madison just shared a photograph inside the Pressure Lounge. I couldn't quite work out what it was. Kelly is holding a bottle of cider, and it made me think of something that I did earlier that actually happened 100% in all sincerity, in all honesty. It wasn't even a meme, it wasn't even a joke. I was reading the book earlier, it had a photograph in it. I couldn't work out what the photograph was, and I actually reached out to zoom into the photograph in the book. Have you done that? I'm sure you have.
I give you my heart and soul. I'll give you anything just to keep you happy. You know that I love you.
Glad I came across this double pack, an AM/PM test pressing. I heard this particular record some time ago on an old tape of mine. I wasn't sure where it was, and now I have it in my sweaty little hands. The unmistakable.
Say the word.
Silk Hurley, Say the Words. Still none the wiser who's behind this remix. I will Shazam it myself tomorrow. Next week, I'll be sure to have my overhead camera. I'll be sure to have the Shazam working on the screen. Just for myself, really. Double pack pressure. This has got to be 96, 97 maybe. Maybe it's a little bit later on the AM PM release. I know it came out on a different label. It reminds me of a winter music conference. So 97, 98, quite possibly. And also the two-step mix on this is cited as being one of the first ever two-step UK garage records, even though it's not a UK garage record at all. All of these little facts I have in the back of my mind somewhere. All completely incorrect, I'm sure. That reminds me again, if you didn't hear me mention earlier, I strongly recommend you check out Love is the Message. It's an information podcast documenting the history of all things music, focusing on the life and times of David Mancuso and The Loft, how he himself was inspired by music and people before him, and also the progression of the music from the late 50s onwards in the US, and of course documenting the rise of the house scene in the UK also. Very, very interesting indeed. They're proper journalists on there. They do all of their research. Not like me just switching on a microphone, jumping on Zoom and asking one or two people one or two questions. But that's the way I like to do it. It's raw. That's one way of calling it, I guess. Right, let's talk about raw. Let's continue with the goodness. Oh my days. What on earth is this record? I have no idea who this remix is.
Needing you, wanting you, loving you forever, touching you, holding you, you fill my life with pleasure. You know I've been in love before, but you give me so much more, feelings deeper than I've ever known. Your love keeps me holding on.
Playing this off of a piece of vinyl that simply says Fresh Tracks, You Give Good Love. Undoubtedly a bootleg pressing this is, without a shadow of a doubt. Because there's a Masters at Work record on the other side as well. You know, them kind of dodgy things there. Pugwash advises me that the Steve Silk-Hurley was a Moose T remix. Also, Mikey just came into the studio to say goodbye. He's heading back over for university this week. Phil Madison reckons he's almost as tall as me. Yeah, he's almost as tall as me. He'll never be as tall as me. He'll never be as big as his dad. Little Mikey Ward. That actually reminds me, I took him on Friday night to see the Harlem Globetrotters over in Mercia. We did have some fun. They're nothing at all like the Harlem Globetrotters of the 80s. But then again, I'm not a young whippersnapper watching them, so I'm probably not as impressionable now as I was back then. But we did have a nice lads' night out. Given information by Pugwash again. I'm assuming he's talking about this record here, The Bass Hit Crew featuring Diane King. Was there a Kathy Brown version of this as well? Or is this the record I've got in the back of my mind? I don't know. Sahara247 throws up a dancing emoji, and maybe I had this in the back of my mind because I did see this record earlier and I gave it a good clean. When I mentioned about two-step, coincidentally now, I have on the left-hand turntable a dub plate, a much sought-after dub plate from JTS Studio Mastering, and this is Piece by Piece, the Dream Team vocal mix of a tune called Nobody's Business. This was absolutely a monster tune back in the day. Let's see how the dub plate has fared 20 years on.
Funny how people always insist they should be informed on anything they might have missed. I'm trying so hard to figure out deep in my mind why they need to know. Is it something they just can't find? Yeah. Don't think that I'm ashamed, 'cause I could tell the world today. But what would we gain? Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. We gotta keep it, yeah. Nobody needs to know. Hide. We got love on our side. Nobody's business. Girl, you know. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
drives me insane. I see nothing. It's a private affair. The things I do should let you know that I care. Don't think that I'm ashamed. I could tell the world today, but what would we get? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
So I have said on a few occasions, every week on the radio show, all I am doing is going through the records in order. Over the last couple of years, actually, I had filtered all of the tunes out. So as you can see, I've got 5 rows. I've done the top 2 rows. Now I'm halfway along the 3rd row here. And all I do before I go on air, I grab a pile of records, I put them into this little bin here, which is on my left-hand side for anyone that's not watching. And then I clean them and play them as we're going along. All the records that I'm currently playing and records that I've been playing for the last few months are tunes that I haven't played a lot down the years. Some of them are, as I play them, I stick them on the top 2 rows because they're definitely amongst my favourites that have got lost along the way. And this record shouldn't be with the house at all, so it's going to go over to that wall over there, into the 2-step pile. Piece by piece, Pugwash saying they're good friends of his, and this was an early version of their Nobody's Business Dream Team remix given to myself to road test in Birmingham and on the radio. 20 years later, the smell of the acetate still warms my heart. All the DJs will know exactly what I'm talking about.
If it's good to you,
Brothers, Soul Talking, into the sounds of All Blue. Masters at Work on the remix.
I'm doing time. Put my heart on the line. Falling in love with you. It was my only crime. No rocks to break. Here's my heart at stake. I don't know what I'm letting myself in for. I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner. I'm still in shock, in disbelief that of all of the people that you could have had, you're here with me. I can't escape, don't know where to turn. Don't you know my heart beats to the sound of the man who's working on the chain gang. I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner. Since I fell in love, I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner. I was broken. I was guilty standing trial. As she was soft-spoken, the something about her smile. She knew just what she had. I wanted it so. Since I fell in love with her.
Dedicating this record, Prisoner, out to Schoolie and to Pogwash after they both fell in love with the Spanish entrant for this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Didn't actually see it myself, but I couldn't not see them boys going crazy over her. I'm assuming it was a woman, by the way. Stranger things have happened at Eurovision. This record right here takes me right back to a Thursday evening at the Ministry of Sound Bar in Birmingham for the birth of the vocal booth. Masters at Work, could do no wrong. I got double pack releases of this. Just found a rogue piece of vinyl, so happy to share it with you. This alongside the Gus Gus VIP were mainstays. every Thursday night. Baseline. Michelle and myself were in Portugal a few years ago, actually, around the same time Eurovision was on. And I wasn't aware that Eurovision, and this has got nothing to do with what I just said, by the way, I wasn't aware that Eurovision was so huge in the gay community. It's quite mad, actually, walking around. Just something that sprang to mind there, talking about Eurovision. Phil Madison says the last time he watched Eurovision, the Brotherhood of Man were on it. Boy, oh boy. Taking me right back to the 70s there. Happy to report that Steve Reed is back home safely after his trip to Bedford last night. And he is waiting in the wings for today's Revolve radio show. All that is left for me is to thank you for your ears today. Thank you to one or two people who watch me and come back and watch the recording. It's always a pleasure to share this music with you. Alcohol free today. I completely forgot to go and get myself a drink, but it's been great. I've really had fun. I can feel the sun beaming down on me through the windows. So as always, all that is left for me to say is thank you. As always, put my hand on my heart. I look you in the eyes. Thank you for your energy, your inspiration, and your enthusiasm on a regular basis. This is the final one from myself, playing it from a new phonic album. I've got no idea what this is. The album, that is, it doesn't have any information on the label, but I'm familiar with this record, as I'm sure you will be as well. Keep it locked to Pressure, guys. Have yourselves a great week. I'm out of here.
We must break. First bondage, then mental, now financially oppressed. With this beat we dance, we know we've passed the test. So as you struggle to catch the rhythm with your feet, ask yourself, can you dance to my beat? freedom we feel in our soul.